Hello, Sandman Nation. Well, we survived Vegas. Nailed it. Weekend was awesome. The Masters certainly did not disappoint. And my Michigan Wolverines are national champs. So, yeah, life is pretty freaking good, boys. And it's about to get even better because it is time to enter Sandman Sports. Back with me, as always, are Pat Double Down Klatt and Bill Black 22 Sanders. Boys, so great to spend the weekend with you in Sin City and looking forward to getting into all that in a few minutes. How we doing today, gentlemen?
We're doing, just got to shift some
We're
things around
doing.
now.
Yeah.
Just got to shuffle
I
some
feel like
accounts
I'd
around,
still,
after
yeah.
this week. Yeah.
Yeah.
Some money
I
moves
did
you got to
notice,
make.
yeah, a few trips to the ATM. there,
We'll
Pat.
see. We'll
Everything
make it
okay?
work. I can work 2 jobs. It's fine.
Maybe the podcast
Awesome.
needs to start paying you something.
This is
Oh, man.
Man. Yeah, I'm just like still feel like I'm tired.
I slept
don't know about
hard
you guys,
yesterday.
but man,
Yep.
takes it out
Well,
of you.
I've been gone. I have until Sunday when I got home, I had spent 12 of the past 14 days away. So it was nice. And 3 different, it was a cruise, it was down the Masters, it was in Vegas. So a lot of flights, a lot of hotels, and it's nice to be back. As much as I enjoyed all those trips, I'm exhausted, and it's good to be back. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sleep in your own bed.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, guys, we have another packed episode with some pretty big news to share in just a moment. We'll get into that. But first, it is time for today's random questions of the day.
It is time for the random questions of the day.
Bill, it is your turn to go first, buddy. You ready?
Okay. I was afraid of that.
All
Yep.
right. Here we go. All right. Bill, if you had to swap lives with any cartoon character for a week, who would it be and why? Swapping lives with any cartoon
You said
character.
lives, not
Come back to
wives,
you
right?
in a minute. All right.
Yeah. Okay. Just wanted to clarify that.
Yes. Okay. So this one's interesting, man. I honestly don't know what I'd pick on this. Okay. So here's the question for you, Pat. And this is just one day. You get to be one of these 2 things for one day and one day only, 24 hours. So would you rather be the president of the United States or a billionaire for one 24-hour period to experience the life of one of those 2 things?
I mean, it would be more fun to be a billionaire, but I think right now, currently in our political climate, I would be president of the United States and I would shake some shit up immediely. I would be going crazy.
Nuts.
I would be going crazy.
Nuts.
I'm not even going to get into it because don't even get me started. But yeah, there would be some changes, and I might try to deliver what I'm doing with some class and dignity and elegance and all the good things.
I mean, both would be
the problem
fun.
is billionaire
I think both would be
for a
very
day,
interesting for
like,
very different reasons.
There's only so much you can do,
What are you gonna do? I know,
but
yeah. Do you
I mean, I think there's always so much you can do.
I know
for
that's true.
president
That's
as
true.
they do. But I would probably pick president too. I just would love to. I would love to know what is a president's normal day like.
Golf.
Yeah,
it's golf.
What's the Oval Office
right?
like?
And random crazy
Yeah.
tweets.
Well, yeah.
There's your day.
Just think about the 8th grader that's got to do the report on Pat Klatt. Like, did you guys do that? It was like everybody had to take a president or whatever, and it was like, I got Miller
James
Fillmore.
K. Polk.
I got Miller
What a
Fillmore.
I'm pretty sure. Actually, I'm pretty sure that's who I had.
That is funny. James K. Polk. I don't think but yeah, Miller. Van Buren. I always liked Van Buren because the Van Buren boys on Seinfeld, right?
Oh gosh, yeah. And the few kids that got like George Washington or Abe Lincoln or like the most famous guys, and then there's the guy with Pat Klatt.
Yeah.
One day of Pat Klatt. What am I supposed to talk about? One day.
There'll be a lot to talk about. There's a lot.
I was going to say, I think
so much will change. Yeah.
All right. Well, good job there, Pat. Mr. Sanders, what do you got? Cartoon character? Who you going with?
Back to me. Okay, so I'm gonna just set this up real quick because this is the first thing that popped into my head. It's like the Ghostbusters deal a little bit with the Marshmallow Man. You guys remember that scene?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, the Stay Puft Marshmallow. Yeah,
Stay Puft. Yeah, Stay Puft. So, and this is I know why, but I'm just gonna say the answer first, and then I'll talk about it. So, the first cartoon character that popped into my head was Garfield.
Oh wow. Okay.
Because he just eats whatever he wants.
Right? He's eating lasagna and
he's just eating.
He's lazy.
He's lazy. He's
picks on Odie.
Right now, yeah, picks on Odie. What was his owner's name? Jim? Is that right? I don't remember.
That's right.
But
that sounds right.
For anybody that doesn't know, that's a follower, I've been just dropping this weight right now. I'm barely eating anything ever. So that's the first thing I think that popped in my brain. I'm like, I'm just going to eat. I'm going to be lazy. It sounds absolutely wonderful. 70 other things that I'll think about, and I'll be like, oh my God, I could have flown, or I could have been a superhero, or like whatever.
That's pretty good.
You'd rather just
where
be
my
lazy
brain's at right now.
Hey,
lazy
dude,
and
I
eat.
love it.
Lazy and eat. Be a cat. Yep. What would you guys have picked? I'm sure there's way better options.
It's a tough one, dude. I don't know. I always was prone to the either like Fred Flintstone or George Jetson.
George Jetson.
They're such extreme. Like
George Jetson.
Yeah, Jetson would be cool. Although I just would love to see how fast I can go in my car with using my feet and feet only.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Speed Racer or something for a second.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Inspector
Gadget. And you could do worse for a wife and Wilma too. So,
oh yeah, for sure. Inspector Gadget would have been kind of cool because he just always had like cool shit,
all
like
the tools
happening. Yeah, all the tools. His arms extend, like whatever. But yeah, I just instantly was rattling through the human being characters, and I'm like, I don't want to be a human being character. That's where my head just went. So
yeah,
I don't know. That's a good one though. I like that.
I think like Pat. Do you remember Plastic Man? I think you'd be a good Plastic Man.
Vaguely.
He was that?
Like, he could reach like whatever.
Like stretch.
Yeah.
Like
was it like
world.
A Marvel thing or something? Was it in that universe or like
a stupid?
It might have been like a spin-off of one of these shows, like a little 5-minute segment or something. I don't think he had a full.
The best. We've talked about this. Do you remember the Wonder Twins?
Oh yeah,
like
Activate.
Super Friends. Wonder Twins Activate, and then one of them had to be in the form of an animal, and one of them had to be in the form of water, anything water. And then they had their little monkey Gleek, I think was the name or something. Dude, the Wonder Twins were phenomenal.
Oh yeah.
The ambiguously gay duo.
That's what I was gonna say. They also spawned the ambiguously gay duo in. Oh, on Saturday Night Live, that was good stuff.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, before we jump into the meat of the episode, we got a quick but important update for everyone listening. As we say every week, first, we're really proud of the content that we put out over at sandmansports.com, and that's only going to continue to grow. We recently brought on some additional writers, so you'll be seeing more coverage, more depth, more consistency across the board. But as we've talked about here before, Sandman Sports is more than just content. We are building a full sports media and gaming platform, content pools, predictive tools, and very soon legal public contests as we expand into licensed states. That has been the vision from day one. And honestly, things are starting to take shape in a very real way. The reality, though, is that building all of that takes time, a lot of time. There are 3 of us running this business on a daily basis with me, Bill, and Craig. And right now, we have to be really intentional about where we're putting our time and energy as we scale, which brings us to this. So Bill, Pat, and I have been doing this podcast since August of 2024. Every week, we've taken 2 weeks off in that time. This is episode 85. I can honestly say it's been one of the most fun and rewarding parts of building Sandman. But the truth is, producing a podcast at the level and quality that we do, all the prep, the recording, the editing, the publishing, the promoting, it is a real time commitment. As much as we love doing it every week, we have made the decision that for now, we need to reallocate that time toward other parts of the business. So we are going to be pausing the podcast, and I want to be very clear about that word. We are simply pausing it. This is not Dan. We're not shutting it down. We're not walking away from it. We will be back for football season. So no worries there. We will be fully back by hopefully like mid-August, so we can start doing previews of all that. But we need to take a few months off here so that me and Bill and Craig, although I know Craig doesn't do much with the podcast here, but we need to be fully engaged and ensconced in monetizing and growing the entire Sandman sports business as we get started here. We're building something big here right now. This is the right decision for us. That said, truly can't thank you enough. Everyone who's listened, followed along, sent feedback, shared the pod. You guys have been awesome. The support over the past year and a half has meant a lot, and we continue to expect that when we come back in a few months. And Pat, 18 months ago, I barely knew you. Now you're one of my closest friends. You've been unbelievable on this pod. We get constant feedback about your humor, your energy, and how well this group works together. So thank you, man. Bill, obviously this whole thing doesn't exist without you. We've built a lot together already. We're just getting started. So hopefully all our listeners can understand. We're going to pause for a few months. We'll be back for football, and that's our news for the day. Anything you guys want to add?
Look, if I find someone else in the meantime,
yeah, you're a free agent.
Don't expect me to come crawling back.
That's true. There's no retention bonus that we're paying you for.
I'm hot. I'm on the market. Let's go.
Yeah. Just putting it out there. Yeah, that's true. That's a good call.
Hey, that's good. That's good. You're gonna get all kinds of calls.
I can't people, you guys. That's
right now. Yeah, shit is when Nate Blackson hears this, he's gonna call you. Him and Brandon are gonna get you on the syndicate.
The syndicate's gonna come calling.
Yeah. And just the syndicate will continue. They may be taking some time off too, as they typically do in the off season, but I know they'll be back as well.
I just want to put in my 2 cents. Eric said it really eloquently there and really well. But first of all, thank you to Pat. 4 episodes with you has been a blast. I know I missed a few when my dad passed, but we've been on most of those together. So thank you for that. You're phenomenal. It's been great. You're a great addition, and super glad that we decided to roll with you on this, and can't wait to be back. Bierman, nobody understands and knows how much work you put into this. So I just wanted to make sure that was called out. Eric keeps Pat and I in line, in order, on time, mostly. So you guys don't know how much work this guy has put into this pod, and really taken it from a pretty horrible episode 1, I think we can all admit, to
that was terrible,
to a pretty polished thing that we continue to try to evolve. So Eric, thanks, bud. You've really done a wonderful work with this thing. So congrats and kudos.
Thank you, Bill. And hey, you know what? Maybe that's what we'll do in the interim over the next few months. Maybe we can just run old episodes every week and start
syndication.
With syndication, and then people will be like, "Oh, this is just so bad." But it'll just make
why
them
are they talking about XYZ from
Yeah. Well, we'd have to have big disclaimers like every 20 seconds. This is from 18 months ago.
Yeah, it's not a bad idea.
Shit. All right. Well, gentlemen, let's start by talking one of our favorite weekends of the year. That is Nailed It. We started this tradition last year on the pod. Bill created a cool competition that listeners can join, and one that Bill, Pat, and myself also compete in against each other. Last year, in our inaugural competition, Mike Paston was our winner. We were a little tamer in our location choice for 25. Simply did it in Cincinnati, which was still very awesome. We talked a lot about that weekend last year. But for 26, we upped the stakes. We held the annual bash in Las Vegas. This year's winner was Jarrett Martinez. It was great hanging out with him all weekend. Most of us arrived on Thursday midday, just as the Masters was kicking off. We all stayed at the MGM Grand, which was pretty nice, actually. I had never stayed there before. It was actually much better than what I was expecting. Really enjoyed staying there. Bill, Craig, and I worked a lot during this trip, including Thursday afternoon, Friday morning, much of Saturday, but we still found plenty of time to have some fun. One of the highlights, I think, was our big group celebration dinner on Thursday night at Ocean Prime, where the wine was flowing and the steaks were tasting great. And then Friday, we all got to experience the Circus Swim Stadium, which I am looking forward to hearing your guys' takes on that place. I absolutely loved everything about it. Loved that day. And then Saturday, unfortunately, I got a crippling migraine in the afternoon and was out of commission for the rest of the trip pretty much. So that really sucked, not being able to party and hang with you guys on Saturday night, which was our last night there. But overall, it was still a lot of fun. I love the whole Nailed It concept and contest. I know our listeners do too, and it will only continue to grow. And yes, we will be doing that again come football season. So no worries there. But guys, give me your overall thoughts on the weekend. What did you like? What stood out? What do you wish went differently? Should we do it in Vegas again, or do we have better ideas for next year? I think you guys talked about this Saturday night, and I wasn't there, and I don't know what you guys talked about. So, Pat, why don't you kick us off?
I'd like to start us off with a poem.
Okay.
Oh, here we go.
Las Vegas, you dirty, rotten, toothless whore of a city. My non-smoking hotel room smells of smoke. I would open the window, but you permanently sealed them shut. How am I supposed to jump? I can't use the fridge in my room because it's full of selections from your overpriced minibar. Your shuffle master machines are rigged, you corrupt, lawless bastards. I want my money back. Now you guys are supposed to go like this. No, you don't clap. You don't clap. You snap.
Oh, you go like this.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
That's my poem.
That is phenomenal.
You are one talented
You're a
mofo, man.
beat poet.
Yeah, man. Thanks. That was some of my best work. Look,
wow. That had me rolling.
There was a lot of problems with the Vegas trip, and the main problem was Paxton wasn't there.
Yeah,
that's true. Yeah,
that's true.
Yeah. Another problem is my wife decided not to go, and it was couples weekend, and you dicks chose hoes over bros, which is cool. I get it. Your wives are awesome, and I would do the same if I were you. I don't know how you two ended up with that's
we don't either. We don't either.
Incredible. But yeah, and then it's a dangerous city for me to be left alone because that is a problem. I love to go to casinos, but back home I go to casinos for 2 to 3 hours and lose and go home. This was 3 days living in a casino. Okay. So what do you think a degenerate like me is going to do? Like, I'm going to go watch a show. I'm going to watch some Cirque du Soleil fucker spin plates standing on a, come on. I'm going to go play cards. So dinner Thursday was fabulous. That was fun. Circa had potential to be cool and had its moments, but I'm so Irish and there's so much sun. And then you got the bass going boom, boom, boom. Like it's 11. I get there at 11 a.m. and all of a sudden we're clubbing.
Dude, the woman, our cabana host, told us 10 a.m. because we were working in there.
Yeah,
me and Belle and Craig, and it was. She said 10 o'clock. It's getting loud, and it got really loud. It didn't bother me at all. I loved everything about it.
It was fine. It was fine, but put that in your face for 5 straight hours. And it's just my gosh. So anyway, I was thinking, all right, I'm gonna bounce out of here. I'll see you guys later. But as we know, drinking in the sun all day tends to lead to early bedtime for all of us. I believe we all move back. Then next morning, I went for a long walk in Vegas, which was actually lovely. It's amazing to watch. You got people. There's so much for the eye to take in as you're walking around. You got the glamour right next to the poverty, right next to crazy clothing or lack of clothing, an insane amount of restaurants and towering hotel structures, and so it's really cool. That walk was really fun, but 3 nights was 2 nights too long for me.
All right, so I'm hearing we're not doing Vegas next year. Vegas is off the table.
For one day, maybe.
Mine is such a crazy segue from what Pat just laid out, because this is I've probably been to Vegas, you guys. I was thinking 75, 80 times in my life. I'm guessing. I don't know. But I've been old enough to go now for 30 years. And if you take at least 2 trips a year for a lot of those years, you're getting up there just right away. And then there's more trips some years and others. So this was the first time in my life that I've never played one hand of blackjack, never played one or rolled the dice once. I didn't make one bet at a table the entire weekend. I had a little money on my MGM MGM account, and I lost both of those $20 parlays on matchups. I went 3 out of 4 on one and 2 out of 3, of course, but never pick against Scotty Scheffler in a matchup parlay. That I learned that lesson. But yeah, just so crazy to go completely on the opposite end, because I've been there so many times when I felt just like Pat. Like, why am I betting? Why am I in this town? I'm here 8 nights too long when I'm only here for 3 nights. Yeah, it's just, but a couple of things rattle off, and Pat mentioned, but Ocean Prime, Eric hooked us up there the first night with a group dinner. Phenomenal. By the way, we suck at taking pictures. Guys, we suck at taking pictures.
We didn't take one picture.
We didn't. No one would know we were there. No one.
That is embarrassing.
To miss the Ocean Prime night was such a horrible, terrible.
I look good. And I look good.
You were looking sharp. Yeah. Everyone was looking sharp. The food was delicious. So that was really fun. Highly recommend that restaurant. I thought the service was phenomenal. So that was really good. Circa, Eric mentioned stadium swim. That was so fun. I mean, such a cool way to watch the Masters. But I'm kind of with Pat. Like, I'm old. And so I just was saying this would be the perfect setting for the progressive Dr. Rick ads. And Pat and I were going through all the litany of scenarios. Yeah, what SPF are you wearing there? Oh, just
you're turning into SPF? Your father, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, the music's just too loud. Like, have some respect for Augusta National. That's what have some respect. We're all there trying to watch the Masters.
It's such a weird setting with the Masters going on. And it's like, you can think of Jim Nance in the quiet, like, a tradition, and we're just
but the service there was also great. I highly recommend that. Again, Eric, thanks for setting that up, because that was just a blast. We had so much fun.
I don't want to sound ungrateful, by the way. I do appreciate it a little bit. Thank you. I just like to throw in my curmudgeon.
No, that was so much fun. And then other than that, I mean, I had some thoughts on the Masters, but Eric, let's hear what you. Yeah, we'll get
it. So, God, guys, I mean, I freaking love Vegas. And again, it sucked that Saturday I wasn't around much because it was the worst migraine I've ever had. And I do get migraines now, unfortunately, with some of my head stuff. But that sucked. But no, I loved it. To me, the highlight was the Circa pool in Cabana. I would highly recommend it. Like, I'm already like, when can I go back there? Like,
it was cool.
Loved it. And I'm older than both of you guys, so you guys should be ashamed of yourself. Like, could you imagine having a cabana there for March Madness, like Thursday or Friday of March Madness?
Man.
Like, I mean, now it can get pricey. We went on on a Friday and it was pretty reasonable. If you go Saturday on the Masters, it was a lot more. So, like, I can only imagine what it would be for Thursday or Friday of March Madness. But I thought the food and bev minimums were very reasonable, and for the Friday that we had it, and well worth it. It was pretty crowded, which I wasn't sure what to expect, even though the Masters was going on. I don't think I mean, it wasn't like super, like you were, bumping into people, but it was more crowded than I was expecting. The TVs and size are incredible. I can't really describe how awesome it was to watch the Masters from the pool with beer in hand on just those giant screens. Like, I really enjoyed that. And of course, there was also great scenery in other parts of the pool area that many men like us also appreciated, if you know what I mean. And let's just say I drank a lot that day. A lot.
Yes, you did.
Anyway, okay, let's give an update to everyone on our bets. We did do some betting on the Masters while we were out there. So Pat owed me a $500 bet from Indiana's CFP run a few months ago. We decided we'd place that bet on a futures in Vegas and that he and I would split any winnings. So Friday afternoon, in our drunken stupor from Circa while watching the Masters, we decided to go with Max Homa to finish top 5 and put the $500 on it, which would have paid 8-1 or a 4K profit. And you know what? He came damn close. Pat, you're right. I think if we had done top 10, which did you originally say top 10 or top 5? What did you originally say?
I can't remember.
Okay. I know we looked at both or talked about both, and I know we obviously decided on top 5, but we would have won if we went top 10. Obviously, it was slightly lower odds, but it was still fun. Homa did his best to give us a nice little payday. And then Bill lost a $150 bet to me on the pod with Paston a few weeks ago. And we decided we'd place that bet in Vegas, also on the Masters, and 3 of us would split those winnings. I got to pick the bet. And on Friday, we went with Patrick Reed to win at plus 1750. He was near the top at the time. We each would have won around 850 or so. He stayed strong for a while, but it just wasn't meant to be, and came back. Yeah, he definitely plummeted over the next 2 days. But those were fun. I also bet Burns to win at plus 1500. He fizzled on Sunday, unfortunately. My 2 big bets of Tommy Fleetwood and Matt Fitzpatrick at times looked like they had a chance, but never truly materialized. So, but it was fun. Who did you bet Scheffler to lose against, Bill?
Ludwig. Ludwig. And Scotty went 7 under on Saturday.
I had him in my matchups too. And I was thinking, God, he's just had a kid. He doesn't look like he's in form. Yeah.
I mean, Lute Oberg was 3 under, so he didn't even play poorly, and he still got smoked.
But 7 under is hard to.
Yeah. No, I just was, man.
I did do Burns at plus 150 on Saturday, heads up against Rory, which paid nicely because Rory did so well, and I just really thought Rory was going to come back to the pack. I mean, one of my buddies was like, "Is it a lot?" Like he wanted to bet $1,000 to win 1,050 or whatever, or 1,100, that Rory would still be in the lead on Saturday, and he did end up tied for the lead on Saturday, but it was pretty close.
Wow.
Yeah. All right. Well, it was a fun weekend. Thank you, boys. I'm already looking forward to whatever we cook up for next year. But speaking of the Masters, let's now dive deeper into our thoughts and reactions from the weekend. First, I thought I would share just a little bit about my experience going to Augusta on Wednesday for a practice round. I could talk forever about it. It truly was one of my favorite sports days of my life. Not exaggerating. Like, it was just... It far exceeded my expectations, which I can't believe I'm saying because I had such a high bar raised going into it, but just incredible, fantastic. If anyone ever has a chance to do it, please do it. It was awesome. So a few things that stood out. It is by far the most efficiently and best organized sporting event out there, bar none. It starts just getting off the highway. Very clear signage, several different paths to get to the parking lots, very minimal traffic congestion. The parking is all in one huge lot, no shuttles, no off-site parking needed, and it is all free. It's all covered in your ticket. No phones allowed, so we left our phones in the car before making the walk to the gates. And I will just say here, that was one of my favorite parts of the day. Not having a phone was freaking awesome. I'll talk a little bit more about that in a minute. Now, on practice rounds, we could have brought a camera, and part of me is sad we didn't, but part of me is also okay with it because, frankly, it just forces us to be so present and paying attention visually to the course, to the players, to each other, to what we were all experiencing. And honestly, because of that, the overall experience to me was just so much more enriching. And I'm not kidding. I truly am going to start looking for days where I can just completely unplug from my phone much more often because it was such a nice feeling that many of us don't have often anymore, if at all. And being away from my phone and just soaking it all in, like living life for 10 hours or however long it was without ever checking my phone, I loved it a lot more than I was expecting. So, all right. So then we got in the gates after security. At that time, the lines for merch were 70 minutes. So we passed there. We started to simply walk the course. We walked the front 9. A couple things there. There are no flat stretches on this course. There are just ups and downs the entire course. Every lie is uneven. Your feet are either above or below the ball on every single shot. The greens, I cannot explain how ridiculous and how undulating they are. We saw one guy take a practice putt on like one of the holes where the hole literally was 90 degrees from where he putted the ball. And the ball came within 2 inches of it. Like it was of the hole. I mean, all of us standing around were like, what is this guy doing? And it was nuts. And most of the putts were like that. Most of the greens were like that. We saw a lot of players practicing. Many of them would say hi to you or wave to the crowd, which was a nice part of it being being there on a practice round. We followed Tommy Fleetwood for a while, which was just cool. He was awesome. I will say it was funny because every golfer we saw was with one or two other golfers in their practice rounds, with one exception. And that is not going to surprise you who it was. Patrick Reed was by himself.
I love and frankly, the villain, the greatest villain
guy.
He is. He's the greatest villain, but I can kind of see wwhy you're in that reputation. He had a great shot and everyone applauded, and he was like, "Good luck, Patrick, go get him." And he never acknowledged the crowd at all. It was like he didn't care that anybody was there. So whereas, others would wave, they'd say hi. A few of the caddies came up to us, gave fist bumps. So it was just all really cool. There were no corporate tents on the course at all. There was some grandstand seating, and you could buy green master chair and put it in the roped areas if you wanted. But we saw a couple semi-sports guys. We saw Dan Orlovsky and Andrew Whitfield walking around. So that was neat. Kevin Hart, I know, is there, but we never saw him. After walking the front 9, we got some food and drinks, and this is where the concessions were just so nice. You're in and out in 3 minutes tops. You grab what you want. No lines. You pay. You're on your way. Sandwiches, as most people know, $1.50. Beers were $6 for a sporting event, only $6. But the most interesting thing to me was that everything is private label Masters, meaning you don't buy Lay's potato chips. You buy Masters potato chips classic or Masters potato chips barbecue. You don't buy a Miller Lite. You buy domestic light draft beer. And there's just no corporate labels anywhere. And that includes on the food, which I thought was cool. After we ate, we got some beers. We watched the par 3 competition, which was really cool. We saw Wyndham Clark hit a hole-in-one. 4 players overall got hole-in-ones during it. Saw, a lot of the kids were taking part in it. The par 3 course is really, it's just fun. It's fun to walk around and watch, and it's beautiful, as you would imagine. Everyone's so laid back. All the golfers seem relaxed and enjoying it. I think Aaron Rye ended up winning it, if you care about that. But then we walked the back 9, and this was my favorite. Amen Corner is one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen. We were kind of like at the Green Canyon, where we stood there and stared at it for like 20 minutes. Like, just, you look at, you're sitting there at 12, the background, the green, the bridges, Rays Creek. You're just talking about how amazing it all is and really can't believe how beautiful it is. Then we started walking, the rest of it, and we started talking about how the difficulty of all the holes. And we found out, okay, not surprisingly, all 4 par 5s are the easiest. And the only 4 holes where the average score is below par. All other 14 holes on that course have an average historical score above par. 2 of the 3 Amen Corner holes are top 5 most difficult, I believe. The hardest hole, though, is 18, and walking it, I didn't understand why. Like, it doesn't look like it's that hard. There's not a lot of trouble. I'm not sure. I don't think it's super long. I mean, I don't know, but walking it, we were all like, all of my buddy that I was with too, or even our wives were like, yeah, this doesn't look like that difficulty, but it is. And sure enough, during the Masters itself, it seemed like everybody was bogeying it every other foursome or twosome. But then we went to the merch line and waited 30 minutes and bought a lot of stuff. As cheap as the food was, they definitely make up for it on the merch. Things are not cheap. I spent $1,200 there. Now, I bought some stuff for other people, not just me, but one of my buddies wanted a Masters gnome, so I bought that, but could only buy one. Apparently, those things are really popular, and they limit you to 1 per patron. So that was that. But it's really well organized even there. It's like a concert. You just go up, you look at everything. You see that sweatshirt is number 12. Okay, I'll take that in large, number 12. They have all these conveyor belts in the back, all these bins, and the worker just gives it to you. It's in plastic, so you don't have to worry about that. Checkout was easy, and then I walked right next door to the shipping station, paid my $93 to ship everything home, which was nice and easy, and just gave them all that, because I had, we were going to Vegas the next day, and I had no room in my luggage for all the crap that I bought. So we ended up walking around a little bit more. We left around 6 o'clock, went back to Atlanta to our hotel, which, by the way, our hotel in Atlanta was $200 a night. The Super 8 in Augusta would have been $850.
Wow.
The Super 8 was $850 in Augusta. The Hilton Garden Inn would have been $1,420 for one night in Augusta. So, yeah, glad that we traveled back to Atlanta for that. So, I do have one question for you, or 2 questions for you guys. Okay, so Masters, if you went on a Thursday, Friday, Saturday, or Sunday, would you park yourself at a hole, or would you walk the course and follow somebody around?
See, I would probably follow someone around. And that was my question. Like, I think you probably hit the best day to go, Wednesday, where you don't have to worry about a leaderboard or where, when you're out there Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, all you have to rely on are the scoreboards that they have, the manual scoreboards that they have off to the sides of certain holes. I would struggle with that because you'd watch people come and go, but you wouldn't know who's moving where on the leaderboard. So I guess I would probably pick someone to follow and just follow them all the way. And that way I'd get to see the whole course. I didn't realize how much because you can't really see it on TV, how undulating everything is.
Dude, it's crazy.
It looks fairly flat from TV. So interesting.
That's what I thought too. That was one of my biggest takeaways.
Yeah, I'd have to see the course because I haven't been there before. So I definitely wouldn't plant myself in one spot, at least before I walked the whole thing and got a flavor for each hole. But Yeah.
If I were to plant myself somewhere, it would probably be 16, par 3.
See that par 3.
You can see people coming in on 15, I think, right?
Yeah.
They're right next to each other.
Yeah, I might try to do Amen Corner just because it's kind of cool there, but that definitely would get crowded pretty quick. Obviously, 18 is always fun to be at, but I wouldn't. I don't know. I wouldn't want to be at 18 because you're waiting a long time for people to get there. But yeah, I mean, I would park probably somewhere just because I've already walked it now. But yeah, if you never walked it, you got to obviously walk the whole course. So. All right. Well, guys, so that was my master's experience. It was amazing. Just grateful that I got to go with myself, my wife, and really two good friends of ours, a couple of ours. So it was awesome, man. I don't know if I'll ever get a chance to go back, but I'm glad I got to go at least once.
Yeah. Jealous.
Well, let's talk about the actual Masters. So we watched a lot of it together, and then we all flew back Sunday, so we didn't get to see the finale together. Although I did watch a lot of it from the plane, which was nice. But yeah, Pat, first off, just what was your overall reaction to the Masters?
Well, I like how bunched the leaderboard was, and I wish I had put a final score bet on a -12 Friday afternoon because I had a hunch Rory would tighten up and regress a little, either from caution or fear. So I kind of had a hunch. I was like, -12 seems like that might be the final number. Justin Rose, man, I thought for a moment Sunday he was going to pull through. I watched that on the plane as well. And you got to feel bad for the bloke. They say bloke in English.
Yeah.
So that's why. But so many horses with a chance down the stretch, right? I didn't think it was a great finish. It almost seemed like everyone kind of limped across the finish line. There wasn't great shot making or great. It was just almost like just trying to survive a little bit rather than making a big charge and making incredible shots. So, but good for Rory, always good for our Irish brethren.
Yeah. It's your boy.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's my takes. What about you?
Yeah, so here's my excellence of picking. I told some buddies for the Calcutta, I think we should avoid Rory and Scotty. Let's throw out the chalk this week. They finished first, second, exacta, Rory, Scotty, right? So that was, of course, I know I picked Rory, and we'll get to that later, I'm sure, in our pod, but I just felt like Rory was inevitable, and that's how it felt to me, even when he was not playing that well on Sunday. I don't know why, it just felt like he was just going to find a way, and he did. And to Pat's point, he just there wasn't like an amazing shot or this charge that he made or anything. In fact, 18, he stood over that tee ball on 18 and didn't waggle, but he just kept looking his way up the fairway. Didn't it feel like he looked up the 18th fairway 40 times before he wasn't sure what to hit? Then he ends up hitting driver, and I mean, he hit that thing so far right. It actually ended up not being as bad, but anyway, just fascinating to see that on the 18th hole. I love the Shane Lowry hole in one. I thought that was really cool. He's just I love rooting for Shane, and his celebration was just great. The thing I wanted to highlight though, before kicking it to Bierman, is just how great Augusta National is. And Eric was so fortunate to get to see that in person this week, but that course delivers every single year. It's just awesome to see a tournament where the cream rose to the top, the scoring is right around -12, which is right where they want it. To Pat's point, the weather was phenomenal this week, which was nice. But the last point I'll make, the CBS broadcast on Sunday was hands down the worst golf broadcast I think I've seen that I can remember.
Why do you say that? See, I wasn't listening to it. I could just see it on the
not Nance and not Trevor Immelman or Colt Knost or
Dottie.
whoever. Those Dottie, yeah, Dottie's great. All of those guys were fine. It's not them. It's just that I don't know what they were doing when on the second hole they go to Sam Burns and it says he's hitting his fourth shot and he's 185 yards out, and I have not seen his first shot, his second shot, third shot. Was there a penalty? No one's talking about it. Things like that were happening all day. Terrible. And then on 18, Rory hits his drive. They don't know where his ball is. Cam Young hits his drive. They don't know where his ball is. Second shot comes up. No idea that Rory was in the bunker. No one knew where it went. Cam Young's shot. Where'd that thing go? The camera's panning all around. I mean, tracers were just off. All sorts of, it was bizarre. Like a rookie squad was running the most important day of the tournament. So, and then on the 18, you guys saw Rory's putt probably to finish it, but they've got his back. You don't even see the ball go in the hole. Like, I know it's 6 inches or whatever, but come on, guys. Like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
So it was just bizarre. So anyway, I was just going to point that.
I do like Nance and those guys, but I just feel like sometimes it's just a little too stale. They need to bring back Faraday. Faraday was great.
Oh, yeah, he was great.
Oh, he was good. He was good. Yeah. Rory was basically the one player I didn't have any money on to win, but it was cool to see him win his second straight green jacket, becoming only the fourth back-to-back champion in history and the first since Tiger 25 years ago. Seeing Scotty and Rory in a playoff, though, I mean, that might have broken the television universe across the globe. Could you imagine the ratings if that had occurred? But yeah, no, it was awesome. Two of the best players there at the end, and Rory deserved it, and it was great. The other thing is that live golfers suck. Seriously, like very few were legit threats and many missed the cut. I think that just tells us truly, like the live it's just a very different type of league now. And golfers there are losing their edge. If they want to truly compete at the highest level of what the majors demands, they're going to be in trouble. And we saw that. We saw that this weekend. Yeah. So
meltdown.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, it is now time to get to the rest of the show. In just a moment, we'll do this week's version of Be My Guest, then hot takes, stone cold locks, and we'll finish with our top 5. And of course, we'll still have plenty of fun and shenanigans along the way, including Pat's definitive ranking of the 10 greatest water skiing movies ever made. It is now time.
Can't wait for that.
Yeah, that should be a good one. A water skiing movie. Yeah, Jaws will probably be on that.
Classic.
It is now time for America's favorite pseudo-sports trivia guessing game on a podcast featuring 2 ball guys and a guy named Pat. You know what that means. It is time for Be My Guest. All right, guys. Well, in honor of the Masters and a great golf weekend, our Be My Guest today is going to be golf related and pretty straightforward. All right. These numbers are not adjusted for inflation. So I will just tell you there are no golfers from the 60s, 70s, 80s on this list. Okay. All fairly current golfers. I want you to tell me the 10 golfers with the highest career earnings on the PGA Tour. PGA Tour only, highest career earnings.
Okay.
There are some obvious ones for sure, but there are some that I don't think are going to jump right out at you. So I'm going to give you a little bit of a hint. 7 of the 10 played in this year's Masters. 7 of the 10 on this list played in this year's Masters. 3 did not. You will each get 7.
This doesn't account for Champions League, right? Like the older. Okay, good.
No. You will each get 7 guesses. That's it. 2 points for top 5, 1 point for top 10, -1 for someone not on the list. Pat, since you are on a 2-game winning streak, Bill gets to go first.
Bill gets
all right, Sandman.
I have the T.
Yeah, he gets the. Yeah,
I have the T. Okay, number 1 all time. Let's go top 5. I mean, Scotty. Got to be Scotty. Crazy lately.
Scotty is number 3. So
okay.
Bill gets 2 points.
Yeah. Gotta be Scotty.
Tiger Woods.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah, Tiger Woods, number 1. So Tiger Woods is 121 million. Scotty was 3 at 103 million. So okay.
Rory.
Terrific.
Rory's number 2. Yeah. Some of these I thought would be last. I think it starts to get a little harder.
Where this is. Yeah, I like where this is going.
I think it starts to get a little harder. Maybe there might be one more obvious one, and then I think it starts to get a little harder. So,
Justin Thomas.
Nice job.
Wow, I thought that one was tough. He's 9th. You got Justin Thomas.
Nice. Okay.
So you get a point there. So good job. All right. So Pat has 3. Bill has 4.
Okay. I'm going to say just longevity and some success of late. Adam Scott.
Fantastic.
Another good one. You guys are hitting something I thought you'd have some misses before you got. Adam Scott's number 8.
Oh,
Adam
okay.
Scott
All
is
right.
number
I was
8.
thinking he'd be a little higher, but all right. Okay.
Justin Rose.
In the back with the jack.
So I should give Pat a bonus point for that one because I thought that was the hardest in the top 5 to get.
I almost said him last.
He is 5th at 76 million. So you got Justin Rose.
Nice.
And it is now tied 5-5. There is one top 5 left.
How about Phil?
And God, you guys are good. I thought this was going to be a little bit more. Phil's number 4.
Yes. All right. Okay. I almost said Rose instead of Scott because of the longevity part, but nice job, Pat. I should have said him. Dang.
All right. So you got 3 left: number 6, number 7, and number 10. 2 of those 3 remaining played this weekend. 1 did not.
Yeah.
This is starting to get a little harder.
It's my turn, right?
Yeah, you're up.
I'm going to take Jordan Spieth. I feel like he had a good run, 16, 17.
Yeah, I thought that would be a good guess. But
that was my next guess.
He's no?
Okay.
No.
Oh, he's not? Oh, I thought
not.
I was going to guess Spieth too, Pat.
He's not on, and I don't know where he is.
Okay.
I only have the top 10, Troy, so he might be 11th, but
maybe he just hasn't been good enough of late, maybe.
Yeah, but he's been like middle of the road, but he's still making money.
Yeah, for sure.
And he plays a lot. It's not like he's taking time off too much. Yeah.
Okay. Huh. Okay. Okay. So this guy was up there forever and ever. So I'm going to hope that he hung on because he's now older, but I'm going to say Jim Furyk.
Perfect.
I am so impressed with you, Bill. I cannot believe you got Jim Furyk. Yes.
Dude.
Yes. I did not think Jim Furyk was going to be.
Where did he been? Where is he
7th.
at?
He's
okay.
7th.
Yes. I was thinking might be 10th. I mean, just because the guys make so much money now, he's just.
I know, but who the hell thinks of Jim Furyk?
Well,
nobody thinks of Jim Furyk.
I gotta say, this came from like listening to golf podcasts and stuff. I mean, he's just been. I think he was number 1 for a long time.
Unreal.
I know, but it's just, So, all right. Well, I think Bill's probably got this one wrapped up, but
I'll just show a guess something. I mean, you got to think like end of the year, those guys win like 15 million, right? Like a Xander Schauffele.
Yeah, not a bad guess, but no.
Not there. My next one was going to be another old timer, VJ.
Yes.
God,
all right.
This might be the best Bill has ever done. You haven't missed one, have you? You haven't missed one, have you?
No. He's on it.
No,
he's on it.
No. I guess
VJ,
I didn't. No, I missed. Or no, that's right. Adam Scott was just not top 5.
VJ is number 10. VJ. Is
okay. So he's. I will tell you, dude.
On. I saw him. We followed him for a while. That guy's getting old. I mean, he's not even like he's still in his 50s, but he is old. He is struggling. Thank God he didn't make the cut because I don't think he could have walked another 36 holes.
They got AED machines. They can shock his heart. It's Tommy Fleetwood.
You want to take one? Pat, you want to take one more guess?
Tommy Fleetwood, maybe. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, not a bad guess, but no. And then Bill, I'm gonna give you one last chance.
You might as well make it.
Perfect.
Which number are we?
You get this number 6.
Number 6.
It's number 6, and he did play this weekend. He was in the field.
Dustin Johnson.
Perfect.
Jesus, dude.
Unbelievable, Bill.
Hey, I'm back. I'm back.
Wow, dude, great job, dude. Good job, Dustin Johnson. Yes,
so good.
Nice. Yeah. Hey, I love the golf. I love the golf.
All right, guys. Well, there's not much more to say other than Bill just crushed it. Good job with Be My Guest. All right.
If only I could.
Taking a couple months off here will be nice. I can really put some thought into some tough ones. No more golf for Bill. We're gonna have to do some football. So Pat, just tell me. You send me offline texts of which topics you want. I'll make sure we do that for you.
That's right.
Sure.
Yeah, you guys can tee them up against me. Like it.
All right. Well, that brings us to hot takes. That's right. It is time for CMN Sports Hot Takes, brought to you by Double Take Salsa. Double Take is salsa done right, gentlemen. Crafted in small batches with premium ingredients. It is built on a flavor-first philosophy that lets the spice shine without ever overpowering. You get a punch of bold flavor, then the heat sneaks in and earns that famous name we all know and love, Double Take. If you are looking for the best salsa experience, start here. Visit doubletakesalsa.com and check them out on Facebook and Instagram. And I do just want to take a minute to thank Double Take and Mike's Hot Honey for being our two main sponsors over the past 18 months. You all have been great. Your products are phenomenal. We're very appreciative of the support you've provided us as sponsors. And when we come back in a few months, we'll be sure to talk to you both again. All right, Pat, start us off, buddy. It is hot take time.
Don't look now, but the Twins are on a heater. No one is in the stands to watch them, but they are kicking all kinds of ass. Everyone picked them to suck. Our ace pitcher, Pablo Lopez, went down, and it was looking bleak. Fans are sick of the owners for being so cheap for so long and refusing to sell and never wanting to spend to contend. So I think more than ever, people are boycotting the team. So the stands are completely empty. I want to watch them this year, and I might just pony up the last of my cash remaining from Vegas and buy the cable package that includes the Twins. I love underdogs. I love baseball. Go Twinkies. And then my other little thought here is about Sergio Garcia and his tantrum on hole number 2 this week. You're too old to be throwing tantrums. Your best stuff is behind you, buddy. Just be happy you get to play there and relax. You might score better if you just realize that you get paid to play golf. And Father Time is making it tougher and tougher each year. Chill out, my guy. Right? Like you're not really relevant anymore. Just be like a what do they call that? Like an ambassador. Know your role. You're not even in the tournament.
Yeah, it's not a good look for him.
Not a good look,
agree.
Dude. And that's the problem with a lot of
petulant child.
Golfers. But that's the hottest of takes you're gonna get this week.
Wow, that is scorching hot.
Scorching.
I mean, the second hole, like he's such a clown. He's been a clown for years.
Never liked Sergio. Never liked him.
No, me either. All right, I got a question to start my hot takes. Would it when you order a John Daly, would you guys say that that's a universally known drink?
Never heard of it.
No.
Okay. So if your bartender or waitress doesn't know what a John Daly is, wouldn't they ask you?
Yeah, so I noticed you ordered one in Vegas. Did she not bring you the right thing?
Twice. 2 times, 2 separate times in Vegas, I ordered a John Daly. Both times it came out completely wrong. So
both different?
They're just, different, both different. The second one was definitely not vodka. I don't know what they put in there, but I was just like, it was bizarre. I mean,
I've never heard of a John Daly.
It's an Arnold Palmer. It's an Arnold Palmer with vodka, a John Daly. It's like it's a perfectly named drink. It's just, it was bizarre. Anyway, so that was just my one beef. Just that was sort of golf related, but Vegas drinking related. I also, as I did my notes, no AL team has more than 9 wins, and I think maybe the Twins won yesterday and got to 10 wins.
10.
So this is no longer right.
But they crushed yesterday.
That's crazy. Like the every single team is just condensed right around 500. The Mariners started off awful. They're right there. They're 1 game back. I mean, it's just crazy. Anyway, a lot of parity, it seems like, early in the season, which is a little weird. And then I have one last thing. This is a rest in peace to a gentleman who I guarantee you guys have not heard of. His name is Jim Whitaker. He is a 97-year-old mountaineering legend from the Pacific Northwest, born in Seattle. He was the first American to summit Mount Everest in 1963, and he just passed away. He was a twin, and his brother Lou passed away a couple years back. And I was fortunate enough to meet Lou Whitaker.
Lou Whitaker from the Tigers?
Not Sweet Lou. This is a different Lou. But yeah, climbing Mount Rainier Lou. Lou Whitaker, Marcy climbed Mount Rainier a couple years after we got together, and she did this climb for clean air where they raise a bunch of funds, and then the RMI is an expedition company that takes climbers up Mount Rainier, and it was Lou Whitaker's company. So he was there, and we did this big dinner down at the Paradise Lodge when Mars got down the mountain. And what a treat to be able to meet him. I mean, just true royalty in the mountaineering world. And his brother Jim, arguably even more famous, befriended the Kennedys, did everything under the sun, climbed K2, climbed Mount Rainier, I think, over 200 times. And so anyway, I just wanted to give a shout out, Jim Whitaker. What a life well lived. And, rest in peace, sir.
That's awesome, man.
Bill is our resident soccer and
he is our mountaineering.
Expert.
Yeah.
Alex Honnold.
Alex Honnold.
My mom, I grew up in the mountains, guys. I mean, I was a backpacker. My mom is a mountain goat, half mountain goat. I always joke she's climbed every major peak in the continental United States. So yeah, she's a legend herself as well. And so yeah, I may not look like it anymore, but I used to be somebody who was fit and could do all that stuff. So yeah, I love the mountains and backpacking and the outdoors.
Wow. That's awesome, man. Well, guys, both of my hot takes are going to be around sports we've not talked much about, but deserve some love today. First, I want to start by talking women's college basketball. Yes, my Michigan Wolverines won the Natty last Monday night, and frankly, in my opinion, are one of the best men's teams to hit the hardwood this century. But today, let's talk for a minute about how freaking good this UCLA women's team was. They might not be the greatest team ever. That's still probably the 01-02 UConn team, maybe the 2015-16 UConn team, maybe even the 97-98 Tennessee team, all three of those were undefeated. But this UCLA team belongs in that conversation. They deserve some real recognition. They just did something none of those teams did, which I'll get to in a minute. But first, let's start with the season overall. They went 37-1, 18-0 in the Big Ten. They beat a number 1 seed South Carolina team by 28 in the national title game. 28. Against another number 1 seed. Also, all 4 number 1 seeds made the Final Four. So this wasn't just a soft path either for the Lady Bruins. Then you look at how they did it. It wasn't a one-player carry job. You got Warren Batts, Kiki Rice, Gabrielle Yaquez, several other great players. This was a deep, balanced roster that could beat you in multiple ways. Efficient scoring, ball movement, defense. They checked every box. But here's where it becomes historic. Last night was the 2026 WNBA draft, and UCLA had 6 players drafted overall, 5 in the first round. That has never happened before. Not UConn, not Tennessee, nobody. We talk about, can a college team beat a pro team? And normally we laugh that off. Can the best college team beat the worst pro team? Usually not. But honestly, this UCLA team was basically a pro team, as we just saw with this latest draft. So I don't think it can be underscored how good this team truly was. And that's what makes this team different to me. Plenty of teams have been dominant. Plenty have had pros. Very few have combined a near perfect season, a dominant title run, and then immediately flooded the next level with talent like this. So if this were a men's team, we'd be talking about them as one of the best college teams ever without hesitation. So
agreed.
Just want to give kudos UCLA. What an incredible season and accomplishment. And good luck to all of you at the pro level. All right, my hot take number 2, I want to now move on from one sport we barely talk about to another and talk a little bit men's college hockey and the Frozen Four. And it's funny, guys, we get to Vegas and I'm seeing all of these Michigan jerseys and shirts and I'm wondering why. And then I see all this North Dakota stuff and I'm like, what's going on there? So I finally asked a North Dakota guy, what's up? And he informed me the Frozen Four was taking place in Vegas that very same weekend we were there. And I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, okay, am I the only one who finds it ironic that the Frozen Four was held in the desert in Las Vegas? But honestly, then I started paying attention to it. And by all accounts, Vegas did a phenomenal job hosting this event. And this might have been one of the greatest Frozen Fours in history, guys. And we were literally stops away from where they played us. First, you had the 4 winningest programs in NCAA history all in one place. Denver, Michigan, North Dakota, and Wisconsin. Those 4 programs have the 4 most national championships in college hockey history with 34 total. So, yeah, this was the bluest of bluest blood fields, and it certainly delivered. The games themselves, Wisconsin edges North Dakota 2-1 in the first game. Denver beats Michigan 4-3 in double overtime in a game that went over 90 minutes, one of the longest in tournament history. And then in the final, Denver comes back to beat Wisconsin 2-1. Every game decided by 1 goal. Denver wins its 11th national title, the most ever. Talk about dynasties all the time in football and basketball. This is one, guys. Denver is the Alabama of college hockey right now. Nobody knows about it because it's college hockey, which is just a shame. But definite got to give kudos to Denver, the powerhouse that very few have ever heard of, and to college hockey for giving its fans one of the finest Frozen Fours you could have, with not only 4 of the best programs in history altogether, but also 3 incredible games. That to me is what sports is all about. So just had to give a shout out to the Frozen Four. Well done, guys.
Well, can I add one quick thing, Bierman,
to
yours? Because that great call on the Frozen Four. So down in Vegas, Mars and I were walking through and saw a Wisconsin woman, and I'm guessing her husband, both wearing Badger jerseys, hockey sweaters. The woman was sobbing
after the game loss.
Yeah, she was sobbing. And I mean, just like uncontrollably so. And I was guessing it was because the game just, the game, but maybe she had something else going on. But
or a player.
Anyway,
maybe her kid plays on the team.
It could be. Yeah, totally could be.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, I was like, wow. I mean, I know they take their hockey seriously, but wow.
Yeah.
Crazy.
All right. Well, nice job with the hot takes, gentlemen. But it is now time to get into this week's Stone Cold Locks.
Yo, fatten your wallets, cash those tickets. 9 picks coming and we do not miss it. Stone cold confidence, numbers don't lie. Every lock loaded, it's time to ride from kickoff to the final clock. These are stone cold locks.
Well, we only hit on one of our Masters picks last week, but it was a big one for Bill as he predicted the winner with Rory and gets 2 points for that one. So nice job. Sandman Pat has still dominated this golf season. He sits at 12 points. Bill leapfrogged me, though. He's now at 8 and I'm at 7. So with this being our last week of golf picks until football season, well, for this year, basically, because I don't think we're going to start doing golf in August, but I have some motivation as I don't want to head into our hiatus in last place. So Bierman needs to bring it today. And I like my pick. So, all right, we head to Harbour Town for the RBC Heritage in Hilton Head. It is a packed field this week. Maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like usually the super studs take this week off after the Masters, but that is certainly not the case. Is that right or wrong?
Well, they've
changed.
This is
sort of a medium field every year, I feel like.
Yeah.
Okay. What were you going to say, Bill?
Oh, just that they've changed it a little bit by structuring the schedule with the signature event right after so that they will keep a lot of these big dogs around to play.
Yeah.
And so, there's a huge purse. It's a limited field. It's no cut. So I think guys are like, well, I'm right here already. I might as well play unless you're Rory and you don't need to.
Yeah.
But
right.
Yeah.
Right.
But yeah, crazy. It's a good field.
Well, he's sticking around. He's going to do a few more practice rounds at Augusta for next year.
That was turned into a little bit of a firestorm.
It did. Yeah. It turned into a controversy.
Jealousy.
I mean,
jealousy and envy.
I mean, I don't. Yeah, I don't. We can skip it. I don't get it. I don't get that.
I don't get it either.
They got to find something to criticize.
Yeah, exactly.
That's right. That's it.
All right. Well, Pat, why don't you kick us off, buddy? What do you got?
All right, give me Matt Fitzpatrick. He's plus 2,000. He's won here before and is playing well.
He'll probably win it now that I picked him last week and I'm not picking him this
Although
week.
he didn't show up for the Masters, he's a horse for the course. He's won here. He's put on the plaid jacket before. I think it's a plaid, like red plaid jacket. I got Justin Rose at plus 4,800. And surprisingly, he isn't even a top 20 favorite here. I'm not sure if he historically hasn't played well here. I mean, look, that takes a lot of research for me to look that stuff up. I'm just going to guess. But I mainly picked him because of the number. I mean, just plus 4,800, it just seems too high for a guy who proves time and time again that he is one of the top 10 best players in the world. I think after the stress of the Masters, he could go one of two ways here. He could withdraw before it even starts, or he might be able to relax and let loose and play well. So I'm betting that he'll play well this week. And then Tony Finau is at plus 21,000. He's my long shot.
I like it.
I didn't even scroll that far down. Tony Finau, that guy, I don't know what the hell's happening.
I know.
I always liked that
guy.
But
he can't. The thing is, he isn't playing amazing lately, but he is capable, and this is a surprisingly big number here. I mean, he's just for the pure fact that he's that far of a long shot.
Yeah.
For someone who has won on the PGA Tour, and you never know with Tony. He's got like 8 kids, so he's probably just busy and running around. But he's the kind of guy that could just all of a sudden be like, "Oh yeah, Tony Finau's in the mix," and you wouldn't be surprised, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought the long shots were hard this week, personally, but yeah, that's a good pick. I always root for Tony. I kind of hope that he has a good week. I went with Cam Young. He's chalky, I'm sure. I saw him at plus 2,000 to win. The reality with Cam is the guy's just playing great golf right now. I mean, I don't know if it matters which course he's on. I saw that he's finished no lower than T7 this year. I mean, so that gets me a point. I'm all for it with Cam. Yeah. I know he had one good year at Harbour Town. I think I saw, there was a top 5 in there, maybe a third or something. I can't remember if it was third, but so give me Cam Young. I love the way that kid's playing. And then my second one, I went with Sammy Burns. I found myself rooting for Sam this week. I know Eric had a little scratch on him, and I just like Sam Burns. I don't know what it is. I just like him. And what did I see Sam at? He was somewhere around.
I can tell you exactly what he's at because he's one of my picks. Plus 3,000, plus 500, plus 230.
Thank you. Yeah, exactly. And so, I mean, he's got a bunch of top 20s at Harbour Town, so he likes the course. I like the way that he looks. My long shot is Sudarshan Yelamaraju at plus 10,000.
Easy for you to say.
Yeah. So he's a young Indian player. He's been on fire this year, playing awesome. Throwing a dart here. I was hoping that he'll have another good week, but I love the story of this kid. He learned to play golf through YouTube, watching swing videos and instruction videos. So pretty cool story. I would love to see him score me a point here this week. Come on.
Nice.
Sudi, I think they call him.
Sudi.
Okay. Yeah, so I'm going with Sam Burns, number 1. I've always liked this guy. He was in contention all through the Masters, just had a little bit of an off day on Sunday, shooting a 1 over 73. But he still finished tied for 7th. He looked really good most of that tournament. He's also done traditionally well here at RBC, where he's finished top 15 2 of the last 3 years. He's had 6 top 20s in his last 11 starts on the tour. So, yeah, we'll go with Burnsy. And then another guy I've always liked, and I have a really strong feeling about this guy, especially as I researched how he's done on this course. I'm going with Patrick Cantlay here. He's coming off a pretty darn good Masters, showing where he started off on Thursday with a terrible 77, but fought his way back, finished 5 under for the tourney, good enough for 12th place, which is always impressive. But what's more impressive is how good this guy typically does at Harbour Town. He has 7 career starts here. He's finished top 7 5 times, including 4 top 3s here. So I got to roll with Cantlay as my second pick. And then, the long shots were tough. And Cantlay is plus 2,400, plus 405, and plus 188 for top 10. And then I'm going to go with Pearson Coody at plus 16,500, plus 2,050 for a top 10, plus 820, or plus 2,050 for top 5, plus 820 for top 10. I don't love a back tweak that he has and some recent miscuts, but I do love his odds. And this guy has 2 top 10s this season, 5 top 25s in his last 9 starts. He's top 5 in strokes gained for approach shots, which I love on this course. He is an RBC virgin, having never played here, but he can bomb it. He has decent iron play. All traits of success here at these numbers. I have a sneaky feeling that Coody could pull us to top 10. All right, guys. Well, the last 2 episodes, we have talked about our action hero bracket, where we named James Bond last week as the greatest action hero of all time. And I think rightfully so. But this week, it is time to get back to our normal segment. So let's hit this week's top 5.
Sports, pop culture, and everything right. Don't like our list, make your own tonight. Buckle up, it's time for the top 5.
Guys, we've talked a lot about the Masters this episode. And while I was watching this past weekend, I was reminded how much most people love Rory. I remember being in a restaurant or bar in Florida last year when he won his first Masters, and the place just went crazy. This year, as he went back to back, same type of sentiment. He's just beloved as a sports icon in the sport of golf. So it got me thinking about today's topic. What I want today from you guys is pretty simple. Your 5 favorite current professional athletes in the sports world today. Now, a couple caveats. Must be a professional athlete, so no current college ones. Can't do that. Only 1 homer pick allowed, and no more than 1 athlete per sport. So your list must include 5 athletes from 5 different sports. As always, how you define favorite is completely up to you. Just explain why they make your list. All right, Pat, why don't you start us off with your 5 and 4?
Yeah, a good thing I did pick 5 different sports because I didn't read that part.
Of course you didn't.
Or shut your face, Bierman. All right. This is another category where 10 minutes after recording this, I'll be like, oh shit, I forgot about so-and-so. But my first one, I went with Anthony Edwards. This is my homer pick. He's, got $1 million smile. He's young, he's electric, and is good at basketball. He will win a title at some point, hopefully with the Timberwolves.
Yeah.
I
like that.
You can just tell when he's got the ball. He's just a different athlete. He's just so.
Do you ever go to T-Wolves games?
I have in the past. I haven't in the last couple of years. They're fun.
That is one thing I wish Cincinnati had. And I love going to NBA games. I know the NBA gets bad rap, but I love going to NBA games. And I'll actually talk a little bit about that when I get to mine. But yeah, the Timberwolves are kind of an exciting young team, man. I don't know if they can break through because it's just tough, man.
You just got to stay healthy. The thing I went to a game a couple of years ago. I know a guy who had floor seats like right behind the basket. Like we were probably 2 rows back behind the basket, but it is amazing. You don't realize how tall and big these guys are until you're on floor level with them. And you're just like, these guys are freaking massive. It's unbelievable. But yeah, and then my number 4, I went with a guy I've talked about a lot on the pod, Matt Stafford.
Yeah.
The different arm angle throws, the longevity and consistency. So
I thought he might be your number 1.
Actually. 4. No, yeah. I mean, I love Stafford. Don't get me wrong. He probably could. And that's the thing. I just kind of came up with these and didn't really rank them in order 1 through 5 because that's so hard to do because it's like, it really depends on the season, right? Like we're not in football season. If we were in football season, I'd probably have him 1. Since we're not in the season, I had him down at 4. But yeah, Matt Stafford and Ant-Man, the Ant-Man.
Love it. I went with my homer pick first as well. Guaranteed that neither of you have heard of this guy. He is a Sounders, longtime Sounder. And
next, what's your 4?
Yeah.
Next one's Next one's Alex Arnold.
Hey, he's a pro athlete. The guy climbs towers in Taipei. I mean, I did not put Alex Arnold on my list. I went with Nuhu Tolo. He's number 5 for the Seattle Sounders, Cameroon international. He is just a phenomenal athlete, soccer player, outside back. But the best thing about Nuhu is that he's just so bizarre in everything he does. Like the way he runs is kind of funny. His reactions, his comments, the way he interacts with the other team, the ref, everything. He's just like a walking comedy reel. And he's a really, really good player as well. And my kids love him. Every time he gets the ball, Sid will say like, "Okay, Nuhu." So good. Yeah, who
knew he was going to be that good?
Done.
His name Nuhu.
Well done.
His name
Nuhu.
Nuhu.
Nouhou. Yeah, nice. Nouhou.
I didn't mean.
And he goes by Nuhu.
Yeah.
They don't call him Tolo. His last, it's Nuhu. That's just it. It's like his one name. Anyway, he's phenomenal. He's just a great local guy that he's like a treasure if you're a soccer fan in Seattle. My number 4 is Shohei. I went with Shohei just because he seems like such a likable guy, but he's also arguably already the best baseball player of all time. I mean, so you can't argue with his stats or his abilities, his athleticism. But the fact that he pitches and hits, he's dominant in both. He's just a lot of fun to root for, even though I'm not a Dodgers fan. So he's my number 4.
I'll just say, I know I came up with this topic and made the rules, but this was tough. I thought this was hard to stick to just one pick per sport for me, and certainly only one homer, but I did it. And here we go. I'll start with golf, and I could probably list 5 guys from this sport that I absolutely love, but I'm going to actually go with Tommy Fleetwood. I've always liked him. He just seems like a nice guy. I followed him at the Masters. I talked a little bit about that earlier on his practice track. He was just smiling and waving, and he just did everything you want to see from a pro athlete on that stage. Then when Shane Lowry hit that hole-in-one on Saturday, you talked about that, Bill. Guess who immediately gave him a giant hug with a genuine smile and just true happiness for Lowry? That's right, Mr. Fleetwood, his playing partner that day. Tommy, in my opinion, is the best golfer out there to not win a major yet, and it's just that makes me root for him hard, and I feel like it's inevitable at some point that he will win one. Fingers crossed. He's been so good the past 12 months or so. He won the Tour Championship last year. I love his personality, love his hair, love his game. So, yeah, Fleetwood is number 5 for me on this list. And then for number 4, I'm going to go to tennis. I think we've talked a little bit about this before. I know, Pat, you're a huge tennis guy. I love going to tennis tournaments, and we have one less than 10 minutes from our house in Mason. Used to be called the Western Southern Open. Now it's just the Cincinnati Open. It's a pretty big one. It's always held in August, right before the U.S. Open. It's the event right before the U.S. Open in New York. So a lot of stars show up. One of my favorites is actually, and it's so weird for me picking someone younger than my daughter, but I'm going with 22-year-old Coco Gauff as my number 4 here. First, like Fleetwood, I just like her personality. We go to this tennis tourney in Cincy almost every year, always have a great time. A couple years ago, I think it was the year she won it in 2022. Both Brady and Cooper got to meet her, shake her hand, get an autograph. She was just so nice to both of them. And again, she was very young herself at that time. She was probably, 18 or 19. She's also really good. She's already won 2 Grand Slam titles. I love also that she's publicly talked about the mental stress and sometimes even depression that she's battled by being a pro athlete and all the pressure that comes with it. I don't feel like pro athletes talk about that enough. And I think it's refreshing and very human when they do. And for someone so young like her to realize that and be able to admit the challenges and the real struggles related to being a professional athlete, to me, it's just cool. And I admire
try
her
being a
and
podcaster. I mean, that's just
well, yeah. Yeah. So she's my number 4. All right. Yep, Pat, you're up for number 3 and 2, man.
All right, 3 and 2. And it's funny you mentioned tennis. I didn't even think about tennis as I was going through here.
Okay.
I'll put one tennis player in my honorable mentions, but my number 3 is Connor McDavid.
Yeah.
He was drafted in 2015. He has led the NHL in points, and it isn't even close. This guy, watch him, and you know he's elite. There are certain players like where you'll turn on a game and you have to watch because you know they're playing and you just know they'll probably do something creative, magnificent. Ant Edwards is one of those guys where they'll just come up with an exciting play. Connor McDavid is the same thing. And just watching McDavid just getting after loose pucks. He's so fast and quick, and to have him and Draisaitl on the same team and they can't win a cup is just
crazy.
Both so good. So yeah, I went with McDavid there, and then my number 2 I went with Shohei.
Yeah,
we are watching a legend. He's on a different level from the rest of MLB. Fun to watch him hit and fun to watch him pitch. I like watching him pitch. He's got an interesting delivery, and I he's just the GOAT, and he's a living legend that we're watching play. So that's my 3 and 2.
Love it. Yeah, I went with my number 3. I actually went with Josh Allen. I don't know if it's because he's slightly a sympathetic figure that I put him on my list, but I just love this guy's game. I love how tough he is. Came out of Wyoming, goes to Buffalo. It's just
he was. Dude, I thought about long and hard about. He is one of my favorites, but
he's just he marries a super smoking hot new wife. They just have a baby. It's like I don't know why I'm rooting for this guy all the time. It feels like, but yeah, he's just a lot of fun to watch from a distance as a Seahawks fan. My number 2, I went with Steph Curry.
Yeah,
I've always loved this guy's game since he was at Davidson. In fact, I remember being at the Minneapolis St. Paul airport watching the madness, and Davidson was making their run, and the crowd was just nuts around this sports bar, and from that moment on, I've just always been so impressed with him. I love how good of a golfer he is. He seems like an awesome dude, great husband, good basketball family. He's just so fun to watch. Even his pregame warm-up, the stuff he does in pre-games, I could sit there and watch that and enjoy the heck out of that too. Amazing, arguably the best shooting stroke of all time in the NBA. So Steph Curry was my number 2.
Yeah, those are great choices. For my number 3, I went Homer here. I really thought long and hard about putting Shohei on my list for my MLB pick, but instead I'm going to go Homer pick here and take Ellie De La Cruz. The guy often drives me crazy because he still strikes out too much at the plate, but he's just such an exciting unicorn type player to watch, and we just don't get many of those here in Cincinnati. He's a 6'3" shortstop with blazing speed, great power, elite defense, just a potent combination that you don't see by too many players in the league. In 2023, he became only the 5th player ever to record 20 home runs and 60 stolen bases in one season. He's just watchable. He's fun. He's exciting every time he steps to the plate or ball goes his way in the diamond. You kind of hold your breath because it just could be something crazy fun that you're about to see. And you just can't say that about too many players, especially not in Cincinnati. And I do feel like if this guy played in a bigger market, everybody would be talking about him. So, and he started off pretty well this season, making a little bit more contact. So hopefully he's going to get consistent there. I just love going to the ballpark to see him play. So he's my number 3. And then number 2, I got to give my son Brady credit for this one. I'm going with Giannis Antetokounmpo. He's loved Giannis ever since seeing him in the 2014 Slam Dunk Contest as a rookie. Brady immediately became a huge Giannis fan and Milwaukee Bucks fan. I've talked before, ever since then, every year Brady and I now go to one away Bucks game. This past season, last month, we went to New Orleans. It was kind of a bummer because Giannis actually didn't play that game because he was injured. But we've seen him, I think, 8 times now, I think, overall. Not only is he one of the best players in the game with 2 MVPs, an NBA title, and 10-time All-Star, but he also gave me one of my favorite memories ever. In 2019, Brady was 15 or so. We went to Atlanta. I splurged for courtside seats. Giannis came out to warm up, decided to give a few kids autographs. He signed Brady's jersey, which I got all on video. Seeing Brady's face as this was happening and after it happened was seriously, and I still have it on video, it was one of my favorite moments of my life as a father. So we took that jersey that he signed, a picture of Brady and Giannis together from that game, and both are now framed together in Brady's room, which is just really cool. And Giannis he just seems like a good guy. You don't hear much about any off-court problems. And for me, that's a big thing too. So yeah, Giannis is my number 2.
Nice.
Great.
Yeah, what do you got for number 1, Pat?
Real quick, I'm just going to give you my honorable mentions. Kyle Schwarber.
Okay.
Schwarber.
I like this. For Paston.
Yeah. Well, I love Schwarber, dude. He's awesome. And he had a great game yesterday too. Juan Soto, just for his delivery at the plate, just the way he approaches it.
Yeah, that's good.
Problem with Soto, once he got traded from the Yankees, I don't get to see him much. He's not on national television as much anymore. Yamamoto for the Dodgers, that pitcher is fun. And then you mentioned tennis, and I remember Novak Djokovic, man. He's but my number 1, he's Irish. All he does is hit hole-in-ones, and he's proof that you don't have to be a musclehead to compete at golf. It's Shane Lowry. He drinks beers, party.
I love it.
Sugar Shane Lowry. He's awesome. He's got great attitude.
He's a fun guy. Yeah, he's fun. Hey, seeing him make that hole-in-one was pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Fun.
I love his celebrations are just so great.
I know. They are.
Yeah. So he's a character. So
yeah.
What about you, Bill?
I also, Bierman, I loved your call on Tommy Fleetwood helped the Selly as well, because he's just such a genuine good dude. And it was just an awesome, the whole thing was so great.
It was so awesome.
Yeah. I love Sugar Shane too. He might be, I mean, he's definitely in my top 5 favorite golfers. I went with a golfer as well as my number 1, and I went with Scotty Scheffler.
Yeah, I figured you would. Yeah.
He's just, some say he's boring. I just find him to be not only the best player on the planet, but he's also, Pat says he's boring, but I'm okay with that. Like, I love the fact there's so much about this guy that I love, his competitiveness on the golf course, but mostly like how he is off the golf course. I love that he's a devoted family man. I love that he loves his kids and his wife.
He's a convicted
and makes that very clear. Yeah, he did hit people with his car, but it's he's my number 1, and I think that it also helps that he's just he's unorthodox. That's what I'm trying to say, right? Like his footwork and all the different things, but the guy is just, I mean, shoot, we take him out of our options to pick every week because he's so good.
Right. Yeah.
So, after Tiger, we haven't seen a run of dominance like this. So Scotty's my number 1.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. I like Scotty a lot, but I kind of more with Pat. Like, it's just kind of like, it's just so boring because I didn't like Tiger either for a lot of different reasons, but part of it was because he's so dominant. But anyways, so guys, if we were allowed more than 1 homer pick, I would have won Joe Burrow here, but I can't, so that's okay. And I thought about Matthew Stafford, a guy who I know Pat really loves. And I do like Stafford a lot, but I went in a slightly different direction here, although he certainly has a connection to Stafford. I am actually going with Jared Goff as my number 1, and here's why. So first of all, he was the number 1 overall pick back in 2016. He had some success with the Rams, but then was kind of just cast aside, traded to the Lions for Stafford. And most people just forgot about Goff, and everyone thought, the Rams definitely got the better end of that deal. And maybe they did. You could argue that, especially after Stafford won a Super Bowl with the Rams. But Goff was resilient, and his first year with the Lions took them to a 9-8 record, then 12-5 in a playoff berth, then 15-2 in 2024, and last year a blip back to another 9-8 record. But this is the Detroit Lions, guys. For context, in the 4 seasons right before Goff joined, while they still had Stafford, the 4 seasons before Goff joined the Lions, Detroit went 6-10, 3-12-1, 5-11, 3-13-1. Goff has not had a losing record while he's been in Detroit the past 4 years. Guys, to put this in further perspective, Detroit had won only 12 games twice ever in a season. And that was the most they'd ever won, was 12. They did twice. He led them that in 2023, and they had never won more than that, and he led them to 15 wins in 2024. Of course, you can give some credit to Dan Campbell as coach, and you can give credit to a lot of people in that organization. And I don't love that they dropped off in wins last season, but I don't think this guy Goff gets nearly the amount of credit he deserves. And I love this fact. In his past 9 seasons as a starter, he has missed only 6 games. So he is durable. He's tough. His teammates love him. And honestly, I kind of feel like in 5 to 10 years, we're going to be talking about him like we do Stafford right now. By then, he'll probably have a ring. He'll be the elder statesman in the league, well respected by many. So, yeah, I really like him. There's just something about Goff I've liked since he came to Detroit. He's my number 1. And I just realized I have Coco Gauff and Jared Goff on my list. So that's
a golfer.
And
a golfer.
Dude, that's funny.
Nice. Yeah. Good stuff.
Man, all right, guys. Well, sadly, we have come to the end of the show today. No, we're not going to do any teary goodbyes because it's not goodbye. We absolutely will be back in a few months for a football season. But as we said earlier, we are going to pause the pod for a couple months. Boys, love you both. It's been so much fun. Can't wait to run it back here as football season gets closer. But for now, gentlemen, it is time to exit Sandman Sports. Have a great weekend, everyone. Peace out and take care.
Good luck, everybody.